You know, I just started my video, and I got 8 minutes in and realized I was really just talking about nothing. I tried to talk about the horses that raced yesterday. I wanted to clarify, we're waiting for the blood work to come back on Country Dancing, but you can be almost certain that she tied up. By the looks of things, that's the direction we're going in anyway. And when it comes to Casanova Hall, I can only relay what I was told. I can tell you this. Mark said the horse trotted off the gate perfect, did nothing wrong, and never put a step in until after the harness broke. He broke the crouper in his harness. The harness shoved forward. At that point, he got out of gear and made a break. His harness is now up on his withers and in his elbows. Mark had to move the horse over in behind the starting car to get him stopped. He was so rambunctious after that. So that's all I can tell you. So Mark was very happy with Casanova Hall and very unhappy with the fact that he broke equipment. He was disappointed with Country Dancing, as was I, but I'm sure that will be understood a little better when we get her blood work back. Now, as for today, Gaslight Hall, very happy with his win. Disappointed with Westland Warrior, but after the recall, he said he was pretty hot, pretty rank. Again, Scotty, his regular pilot, was not there. He was at the Poconos. Tony Hall drove him, put him up on the gate the second time, and he got a little rambunctious and made a break. Again, with the recalls, Tenacious Hanover did all he could, paced 51 in a piece. And as I said to one of my partners, Johnny, and the horse, hey, I know he finished last. Clearly, it was a mistake putting him in there. But you know what? He fits an onwards of 2. He paced 51 today, which is about 4 seconds faster than he should have to pace next week. And for the foreseeable future, for that matter. Memory and Imagination was great. A lot of people messaging me, can we go back to Kentucky? He did fit that final. Here's the problem I have. Just let me sleep on it. It doesn't have to be entered until Wednesday, I believe Eric said. They're all being entered. Here's my take on it. I thought he raced well. We have an option to race him at the Meadows. We certainly have an option to race him with Scioto. We can take him, we can send him anywhere. We can go to Mohawk if we want. I don't think that's a good idea. The latter one is a little tough for him there. He can go to Yonkers. He can go anywhere we want to race Memory and Imagination. He can go. The problem I have with Kentucky is because Carl kind of scared everybody away, that giant pool of fish, so to speak, all ended up in the middle division. It is a very, very tough division. And I just don't know. I just want to think about it and sleep on it. I get it. I get the same emails. I'm your partner on the horse. I love Memory and Imagination to death. And there's an argument to be made. Hey, can we just race him in that race? And then after that, we can go wherever we want. Sure, I can't say he'd get run over. Of course, that would be unfair to say that to the horse. About the horse. It's not fair. He wouldn't get run over. I just want to place him where he's going to win. I was mildly surprised today. Yes, we had a couple of breakers, but quite frankly, the way he got off the gate, you know, if Chris doesn't make a break, I cut him loose to the front. He's going to have to work to the 3/8 pole to get there, probably. The way the race was shaping up, I think I probably beat him. Fair and square. But who knows? We'll never know. We won, worked out well, and I was happy. In regards to time is on my side, of course there was a component of this where I run up on top on the back of David Miller. Of course there was. I felt that the pace slowed dramatically, and time is on my side, get up on top of him. When he made a break, he jumped on his foot, had to take some staples in his foot. He was sound walking away, and Tim knows, and we talked about it, as long as you keep that clean and comfortable, keep the infection out of the surface infection out of that, he'll be fine. It was all superficial. But he's 10 days away from Little Brown Jug also. Careful. All gas, no brakes look fantastic tonight too. Really happy with him. It's nice to see when they get in easy, they're supposed to win, and they go out and win. You know, you don't get many of those. There's not too many gimmies at Mohawk, and well, there really never is. But tonight was a real good race for him. Good 2 weeks in a row. Very happy with the way he's been racing. And then Yo Mystery, you know, you get away 10th, you finish 10th. You know, again, it's just this ladder racing. I despise it, and quite frankly, you know, if we get better horses, you know, I'd like to have some one open pacer, a couple of open trotters. I don't mind that. The top echelon of them, if they have to move around, fine. Like a couple of looks like monies. A pacer on the top end. Non-winners of 1, 2, 3. That's what I want to see at Mohawk. If they're going to have a claimer, maybe even grab a claimer over there. But I have such little interest in racing a horse like Yo Mister through the non-winners at 18, where he draws bad, and you got to take him back off the, take him back off the car, get away 10th, finish 9th or 10th. I want to have a horse in where he can do good all the time, right? That's why I like those non-winners of 1 up to 7, because you know who you're racing against, and if you have the right type of horse, you should be able to find a spot for him to do, or her to do. But when you get these non-winners at 25, 22, 18, 13, it's my least favorite way to race horses, put it that way. So we're definitely going to look into filling our barn up in Ontario, both barns, Dominic and Harry's. I would say realistically, we're going to have 20 to 30 horses in Ontario all winter long. And I would like them to all be functioning competitive horses. So we got to look in at a horse like Vehement, big, giant, maiden trotter. I can see him going there if we can get him good. Those are the types of horses that end up there, right? Even a horse like Marching Forth. Horse with what, 1 or 2 wins. Another horse that can fit in there. You're going to start getting into the cooler part of the fall. The 3-year-olds are getting a little tired, get sold, get moved out or turned out, and then you're left with a little bit softer classes, historically speaking, at Mohawk. Most every track, but definitely Mohawk also. So we have the right horses. We just got to find. We have the right trainers. We have the right track. We just have to have the right horses for it. And I think that's what we need to do for Mohawk moving forward. It's not magic. We just need the right horses for the right class. Same as we do in Northfield, same as we do in Scioto or Yonkers or wherever we send them. We're sending them there with a purpose, and that's what we have to do for Mohawk. So that is what took place the last 2 days. That's what went on. When we talk about a horse like Vehement, I know I had a lot of emails when I got off the plane saying, Anthony, there's shares left. There really isn't. He sold out in minutes. I think what had happened was there were some people that had a number of shares that said, hey, if somebody wants a share, somebody messaged me, said, is there 2 shares? Is there a share available? So I did reach out to somebody that bought fair and square. They wanted to keep the shares. They bought 20 shares of them right away. I reached out and I said, hey, you got a couple of clients here that are looking for some shares. We are buying more horses. If you'd like to, listen, they're your shares. You do what you want with them. But they did come off of 6 shares. So those shares are spoken for. I don't know. I forwarded the emails to Wendy. She'll take care of it in the morning. But they're locked for another reason. And that's, I want everybody just to take a deep breath. And I'm not angry. This is a capitalist society. And my job when we buy a horse is to get the shares sold out quick as I can. But we all know what has taken place a little more often lately, which is somebody buying the shares and posting them for an exorbitant amount of money, a huge markup just after the auction, hoping that somebody will bite. I don't mind people making a little bit of money, but when you start doing it, the only reason you're doing it is to turn over and make a couple of dollars every time Anthony buys a horse. I can't sit back and allow that to happen all the time, right? That isn't what the private market was for. You guys know that. We're all big boys and girls here. But I do want everybody to recognize that there are people out there that do get home. The reason I posted that horse at 6 o'clock and why I'm trying to post the shares at 6 o'clock from now on is so that people can get home from supper. It's like, geez, I see Anthony's video. I got a chance to look at it. I'd like to buy a piece of that horse and then follow through with that, so that everybody can have shares of the horses. And there is a big portion of me that really, I'm torn, because my job is to make sure the horses get sold out quick as they can. It was pretty quick tonight. It was well under 10 minutes tonight for Vehement, for sure. I don't blame you. I wanted to get shares too. I thought, yeah, we bought a few horses this week. If there's shares left of this horse tomorrow afternoon, I'll scoop them up. Tomorrow afternoon, I barely hit enter. Anyway, listen, I appreciate everybody wanting to jump in and be a part of Racing Horse in the Stable. It means a lot to me, but I do want everybody to understand that I do want everybody to get involved, not just some people. So it's not an admonishment. This is me saying, hey, you can't do that. But I would like people to understand that, if you're buying a a large portion of shares with the sole intent of selling them at a marked up price moments, minutes, hours later, that's not always cool, right? And I don't really know the best way to police it, so I just locked them. I locked them for today. So if you're wondering why the shares are locked, it's because the horse was sold out, and they're going to remain locked for the next 2, 3, 4 days. And then after everything cools down, I'll unlock them. And then if somebody wants to win and give you a marked up amount of money for a share, then so be it. That'll be fine. But I think that's the fairest way to do it right now for everybody. And if you disagree, that's fine. Show me a better plan. And it's not going to be, you know, just continue to turn a blind eye like it isn't happening. That's not going to happen. So we're all, like as I said, we're all big boys and girls. We have the greatest clients on earth, and I understand where everybody's coming from. I'm not angry in the least bit. But I would ask, I would implore, I would hope that everybody would just walk a mile in all your partner's shoes, right? So with that, I'm going to let you go. It's 2 minutes to 1 a.m. I'm going to get up in the morning in 6 hours. I'm going to be up and going again, run over and go with Pickpocket, marching forth. Both of them be very interesting for very different reasons. And then we're off to the races shortly thereafter. My internet's not on, but we definitely have Grand Slam Dio, and I'm fancy like tomorrow. Very interested to watch both of those horses race. So with that, I'm going to let you go. You're likely not up to watch this at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you are, get to bed. I'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.